One of the lost arts of video games is box arts. Nowadays, all box arts have kind of morphed into one single blob that is just boiled down to main character on the front, probably with a gun, the end. Back in the day, box art was so important to get you to buy the game or rent it or try it out just at all. Before I had unrestricted access to the internet and my brain was ruined forever, I used to rely on box art to decide what game I was going to play next. I remember looking through my brother's old Super Nintendo games. He had this big box that just had like 50 Super Nintendo games in there. None of them came with a manual or a box, they were all just the cartridges. When I would look through that, I would just have the art to go on to decide what game to play next. And there was always one game that stood out to me as just like having such cool art that I had to give it a try. This game was Populous. I mean, look at this box art. There's like a castle like exploding out of the ground and there's God and a skeleton just face to face having a battle or something. I mean, I had no idea what I was looking at when I was a kid, but I saw fire, I saw a skull, I saw a castle, I was already hooked. If I was at the store and I saw this game with that box art, I would be tempted to get it. Based on that, I'd have to beg my mom, of course, because at the time I was like 8. But I would have wanted to play this game because it just looked really cool. Luckily, I did not do that. My brother had the game for some reason, and I had to play it. And I tried this game so many times, because every time I'd go through, I'd be bored. I'd played these games so many times, and I'd played the same ones over and over and over, that when I'm finally looking for a new game, Populous would stand out, because it just looked cool. I tried it multiple times, thinking that I would come back and finally understand what the heck was going on, but I just never did. But I was a stupid kid back then. Now, some 20 years later, I have a fully developed adult brain and I'm ready to tackle this challenge. So let's boot up Populous and see what it's all about. So there is an option for a tutorial here, but I don't think I need it. I've been playing games my whole life. I think I can figure this out on my own. Okay, there's a lot of buttons here, and am I well? All right, so I'm in the tutorial and I'm not seeing anything different. Is anything different here? This is the tutorial. There is nothing telling me what to do, what all of these icons mean, or what the objective even is. What am I even supposed to do? I give up. And that's about how long my play sessions lasted as a kid. I thought I might be able to figure this game out on my own, given that I've played games for so long and I now understand how games function. Usually I am able to figure out games pretty quickly, even old ones. But this is a different beast. When you look at this game, it's just overwhelming. There's buttons down at the bottom left, the bottom right. There's some icons in the top right. We're in this like weird isometric world where people are just kind of doing their own thing. You can manipulate the land and stuff, and it's just not obvious at all what to do. Now, like I said, when I played this game, I did not have a manual with me. And if you were ever in the same situation, there is zero chance you would have been able to figure out how this game was supposed to function. But luckily, we live in the age of the internet, and I can find the manual online. So with the manual, I can finally learn what this game is even about and maybe actually learn how to play it. So, what is Populous? Basically, this is a god simulator game, one of the first of its kind. We play as the good god, while an evil god is attempting to corrupt the world, well, with evil. But are we actually good here? We casually summon floods, earthquakes, and volcanoes to wipe out humans who are just trying to survive, albeit under a different influence than ours. What separates us from the evil entity? Well, I'll tell ya. Do you see that skull right there? Well, don't you know that skulls mean evil? Case closed. Alright, but if you need further proof that we are the good people and that these people are bad and they deserve to be killed without prejudice, let me show you something else. Do you see it yet? Look at what they're wearing. It's red. That's the color of evil. They are absolutely asking to be slaughtered by a god who has abandoned them. And look at our followers. They're wearing blue. Clear good guy colors. Checkmate. I want to make it clear, there is no nuance to this game. It's good versus evil. Don't think about it more than that. Honestly, reading through the manual actually makes this game sound pretty cool. We are battling the force of evil to ensure a good future for the world and its inhabitants. We can help our influence grow by making the land more suitable for growth and expansion. Essentially, we want to level out the land so that our followers can grow crops, build settlements, and reproduce to hopefully outnumber the evil followers. Once you feel like your followers have grown enough in size, you can call for Armageddon. Triggering Armageddon will bring an end to the round as all people, good and evil, meet at the center of the world for a final doomsday battle to determine the fate of the world. Well, that sounds awesome. After reading the manual, and I read more than just the synopsis at the beginning, I actually feel like I kinda understand what I'm supposed to do, and it sounds pretty cool. I want to make as many followers as possible, eventually call for a final battle and have my followers beat the evil followers. Sounds easy enough. So we've established that Populous has a cool box art. It has a manual that gets me excited to play the game. So now that I actually understand what is going on, how is the game? It sucks. Alright, don't get me wrong, there may be a good game here, but it should not have been ever, under any circumstances, brought to the Super Nintendo. This game needs to be played with a mouse. There are way too many options, too much scrolling, and navigating that with the Super Nintendo controller is an absolute nightmare. Honestly, I have no idea why this game was brought to the Super Nintendo. I'm pretty sure it is a PC game, and you can probably find it on PC, and that's where it belongs. It should not be played on the Super Nintendo. Even after reading the manual, this is still one of the most confusing games I've ever played, and part of it is just, controlling it is just so hard that you can't even really think about what you're doing, you're just fighting the controls the entire time. Maybe this would be fun on the PC, maybe I'll give it a shot at some point. I'm actually kind of curious to see how this game functions when you can actually play it properly. I'll be honest, I played one real round after reading the manual. I don't know how long it lasted, maybe about like half an hour, 20 minutes, something like that. And I called for Armageddon, and I lost. To maintain my integrity as a gamer and someone who has reviewed games from time to time, I really feel like I should spend more time with Populous. Spending only around an hour with the game is not nearly enough to form an opinion on it, so I really do feel like I should sit down and play for a little bit longer to see if there is something to love here. But I'm not going to. This game sucks.